is going on, Death Battle fans? Regan Wilks, Autism Production here. That's why RWAP. Regan Wilks 54 here. That's why. Welcome back to another exciting Death Battle reaction video of all time you've been waiting for. And today I'm gonna react to Ghost Rider versus Spawn, Marvel vs. Image Comics by Death Battle. So I have seen Spawn's Death Battle before. The first one I reacted to was Kratos versus Spawn with JR and Nick last time. So I have not seen the first Ghost Rider Death Battle because I heard there was a Marvel vs. DC, which is Ghost Rider versus Lobo before Mega Godzilla versus Dragon Sword, aka Dragon Caesar. So anyways, with that being said, the original link is in the description below, and if you get to subscribe to Death Battle, and let's begin. Okay, this is the preview.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
The Spirit of Vengeance versus the Dark Angel of Armageddon.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A Death Battle.
Johnny Blaze has always been a man possessed, chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer, heartbroken, and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could: chemotherapy.
The devil.
Oh!
To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
Only for Crash to actually live up to his name right after.
But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the Spirit of Vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire. An undead skeleton biker with a sick-ass hug. The 5th scariest Nick Cage performance. The stuntman from hell. He called himself the Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider?
Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier.
All you. The Ghost Rider was
original Ghost
bad
Rider?
news for Earth
White?
sinners and
Like
scumbags.
Moon Knight?
He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries.
Don't even think about fighting back. He can remake his whole body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage. Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of, from an infinite stream of chains, a shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barked right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
Oh, this badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire is a weapon in and of itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his...
his boner, Wiz. Get it? And it doesn't just
Did that
scorch
actually
flesh.
happen in the
Hellfire
movie?
is so
I already
deadly, it can burn
watched
away your
it
very
online.
soul.
This technique
I
would
heard
be
it was
mastered
good.
by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider.
He looks
and
cool with a
Danny was
horse
the
riding.
first to master their most
Lame
famous move.
skeleton.
You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look. The Penance Stare.
The Penance Stare inflicts upon its victims every ounce of pain they ever wreaked upon others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders, like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny
alive
actually
after that
depowered
stare?
Johnny.
Eyes are
I
windows
was just
to the
having a
soul,
question
so the
about
Ghost
that.
Rider must be able to match his victim's
Just
gaze for
one.
the Penance Stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions.
Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to
can't
kill
do
you.
it on
He can
Deadpool,
use the
cuz
stare to read
Deadpool's
minds, force you to
immortal, you
confess
know.
info, or just show you
Yeah,
the
exactly.
error of your ways.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is 2 souls in 1 body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Ah, classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, pen and snare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly black ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now? Or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore, hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is
third Ghost Rider?
unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon, fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In truth, Johnny was just as trapped by Hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
As they sure as hell won't find any in his. If Al Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul
I
was on
watched
a
that
one-way
movie
trip
before
to
that,
hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia,
I heard
the
it was
big,
Mother
naked
Forgotten.
lord of the Eighth Circle of Hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn,
Mortal Kombat
a
movie,
superpowered
the two
commander of
live-action ones
Hell's
from the
armies,
90s.
in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's blood.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead
The
warrior
first season
from
of the
hell
Spawn animated
itself,
series was good, but
Spawn.
He's
season
so
2 and 3
90s
weren't
that he
that
comes
good
all the way back
because it's
around to
more
being the
back to
coolest thing
violent,
ever.
sex,
Look upon
and
his edge wizard
more darker.
and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking superpower
Oh yeah,
encyclopedia.
he was in Mortal
He can
Kombat
fly,
11.
teleport, turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time, he can fly so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malbolgia cursed him so that he could only make himself... yeah.
Oh, it's petty trolling like that.
Yeah, that did happen in
thrown
the
hell.
To be fair, Spawn
second
can
episode
achieve a
of
similar
the
result
third
with
season.
illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole life.
Like some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past
Oh yeah,
perfection,
Spawn
he
was
loves
also
his
cameo
big-ass
in
90s gun.
Sonic
Though
comic.
his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? No? Well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hell Spawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past. No, Spawn's greatest weakness is his own... how do I put this? Stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed, until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are, good as new. That has to be the first time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade
Violator was
heaven
so
into an
annoying.
anti-Spawn.
But
He's
I
even
don't like
encountered
that
other
clown.
Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malbolgia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with heaven that'd kill all of humanity.
Because the reason Malbolgia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to hell and ripped Malbolgia's head off. With a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality, Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between heaven and hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this God and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the Tree of Life, Spawn became truly divine. capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Whew, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can instantly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for one hell of a death battle!
What kind of cheapy art style is that?
Nights like these drive men insane. Brimstone in the air. Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, there'll be hell to pay.
Hey, the Akira bike glide.
You squirmed from Hellspawn.
Make me.
90 seconds. 90 seconds, Fluff.
If you care, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
70 seconds left.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
It's long go. Let's do it.
Welcome to hell.
What it up? To do a tomate.
I'll be damned. Yes, you will.
Ghost Rider says a line. Imagine that should have been called Ghost Rider versus Scorpion versus Spawn. Marvel versus Mortal Kombat versus Mortal Kombat.
Cannot disguise your wickedness. God forbid. Simmons, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul. I eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
Lies. He's the Prince of Lies. Wait, I'm an innocent.
It's like you said, nothing personal, asshole.
KO! God damn!
That was
Literally, this was
insane.
a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bounce with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in skill. He spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate dream power for a stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison. Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is the resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare, just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower that. And that time with the lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos could.
Unlike how Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The damnation stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too.
I mean that animation of
rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next time on Death Battle.
Woo! Oh. My hero versus Jujutsu Kaisen?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Wow.
Happy.
That fight was insane. Did you see like the animation like closer to Spawn's face? It's way almost look closer to the official animated series from the 90s. But the fight was really insane. Fire, blaze, the time limits for Spawn, like going too fast. Bro, that was amazing. That was awesome. Like that totally makes sense. Like they have their different forms, so Spawn was chosen by Gaia. That would make sense, since about another form for Ghost Rider thing saving Earth. Maybe is this a page it's about Galactus versus Doctor Strange between Earth. So overall, this is 9 out of 10. I mean, I'll give it 9.5 out of 10 for an insane cool video. So anyways, if you guys know, hit the like, favorite, comments down below, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. And then I'll see you later for more excuse me. Alright, that's what I think. And I'll see you later for more Death Battle reaction video. And peace.